Hey everyone, today we are in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we are exploring Stanley Park. So come along with us and we'll show you some of the attractions that you can do if you're visiting Stanley Park in the future. Stanley Park is the first and largest urban park in Vancouver. It has 400 hectares of nature to experience, including West Coast rainforest, mountains, and beautiful scenic views. Stanley Park is also home to the famous seawall, which is part of the world's longest uninterrupted waterfront path at 28 kilometers long. I used their online interactive map to plot out some of the attractions and activities we wanted to do. The map is an excellent resource for planning your trip because you can select the specific type of things you want to see, from attractions to trails. Even the drive to Stanley Park was scenic. It definitely didn't feel like we were in a city compared to some of the bigger cities we've been to. But don't be fooled, this is a wildlife area, and wildlife is present, so beware of your surroundings. You would need more than a day to get to all of the attractions, but I wanted to share 18 things you can see and do in Stanley Park. And before we jump into the activities and attractions, I wanted to share an important parking tip for visitors. We are in Stanley Park here in Vancouver, and pro tip, I just asked the parking attendant what the deal was with parking here because it said you had to pay at this lot. So I wondered, does that mean I can park anywhere in Stanley Park? And the answer is yes. So if you're coming to Stanley Park and you're paying at the meter, you can pay and then park in any parking lot here in Stanley Park. So we paid $14 so that we could park for the entire day, and we're pretty happy that we asked. Our first stop in Stanley Park was Prospect Point Lookout. This is one of 5 main lookouts in the park. It offers a great view of West Vancouver and the Lions Gate Bridge. Along the path to the lookout point, there were beautiful gardens, some trails, and they even had a cafe on site if you needed a snack or drinks. The second attraction was the Hollow Tree. This tree is a western red cedar tree stump that is between 600 and 800 years old. The circumference of the tree is about 60 feet, and it's a popular spot for visitors to take photos at the park. Number 3 is the Urban Forest Train. This is a popular attraction if you have small children, but anyone can purchase a ticket to ride the train, no matter your age. Sadly, we missed the last ride of the day, but we were able to catch the train leaving and returning to the station. And even my hubby was pretty happy to get a little video in front of the train. The next attraction at Stanley Park are the beaches. There are a few official beaches in Stanley Park with lifeguards, but there are also many smaller beaches around the park that you can use. They seem to be a pretty popular spot for picnicking, and even though the water was a bit chilly, there were still tons of people swimming. The fifth attraction is the Vancouver Seawall. This is a 10-kilometer paved waterfront pathway and is divided so that pedestrians have their own lane. On the bike lane, you can bike, use a scooter, and even rollerblade. We saw quite a few people on bicycles built for two as well on the path. Along the path, there was also nice areas for sitting, but just be careful if you're crossing over. And if you're feeling brave enough to combat the waves, you can go kayaking. We saw a few courageous kayakers out on the water, and boy, did it look like they were getting a workout. If you're looking to kayak, I'd suggest checking the water conditions first, and definitely be sure to wear a life jacket. Boating is the 7th thing to do at Stanley Park, and there were tons of boats out on the water on our visit. There are a few boat rental companies nearby, so you can easily visit the area in your rented vessel or bring your own. But if you're more into watching boats than being on one, you can also visit Attraction 8, the Yacht Club. Here we enjoyed seeing different kinds of boats docked at the marina and watching the boaters coming and going on their boats. This is also home of the Vancouver Rowing Club if you're into rowing. We weren't sure if there were any member-only areas, so we didn't really explore, but it was a beautiful spot and I would definitely add it to your itinerary. Attraction 9 is the Teahouse in Stanley Park. This teahouse is located in a beautiful forested area of the park and overlooks English Bay. On the menu, you will find starters, entrees, and desserts ranging in price from $12 to $59 on the menu we saw while we were there. The restaurant is definitely on the fancy side and offers both indoor and outdoor seating, weather permitting, and a romantic atmosphere. The 10th attraction is the 9 o'clock gun. This cannon is located in Cole Harbor and fires at 9 p.m. every day. It's actually been fired almost every night for a century. The gun has an interesting history. It was cast in 1816 in England and brought to Vancouver in 1894. The firing of the gun is one of the oldest traditions in Vancouver, and it even has its own Twitter account that tweets "Boom" every night at 9. The Brockton Point Lighthouse is the 11th thing to see, and it attracts locals and visitors alike. The current lighthouse was built in 1914, but the original light, consisting of red and white lanterns, was placed at Brockton Point in 1890 to mark the sharp turns for the ships. Today the grounds are open to visitors, but the lighthouse is closed. It offers great views of the water, Lionsgate Bridge, and there are plenty of spots to take photos. Number 12 is to visit the gardens. Stanley Park actually has a few gardens to choose from, like the Rose Gardens, Shakespeare Gardens, and even a rock garden. The best time to visit the gardens are during the spring, summer, and autumn months, when the flowers are in bloom and at their liveliest. The gardens feature over 4,500 plants, 3,500 rose bushes, and a variety of trees from the arboretum. We weren't able to find parking on our visit, so luckily we were able to do a drive-by of the gardens and capture some of their beauty from the road, especially the beautiful rose gardens that had nice walking paths through the area and benches to sit and appreciate the beautiful flower views. The 13th attraction are the First Nations Totem Poles. According to the Stanley Park website, these are the most visited attraction in Vancouver. This collection of totem poles started in the 1920s, and some of the original totem poles were carved as early as the 1880s. The site goes on to say that the totem poles are unique to the northwest coast of BC and lower Alaska. They were carved from western red cedar trees, and each carving represents a mythical or real event. The carvings were beautiful, and I would definitely recommend you stopping here to appreciate these installations if you're in Stanley Park. The 14th thing to do at Stanley Park is to go on an old-fashioned horse-drawn tour. You can explore the park at a leisurely pace on one of these horse-drawn wagons to see the area and learn about some of the park history from the professional guide who narrates the tour. The tours only operate from March to October, and the duration of the tour is 1 hour. My 15th activity is to stop and enjoy the views. There are so many scenic viewpoints and benches located around the park, so take some time to stop, put down your device, and just enjoy the scenery. The 16th thing to see here is the Stanley Park Pavillion. The grounds are just beautiful. We were going to get out and explore, but they were just getting ready to host a wedding, so we decided to do a slow drive-by. This is a popular wedding and events venue because it is such a beautiful spot and has been hosting events for over 100 years. Number 17 is to visit the parks and playgrounds and have a picnic. There are plenty of beautiful spots to have a picnic, especially if you had kids who wanted to visit the various playgrounds. Or you can even find a pretty spot for a romantic picnic with your significant other. And number 18 is to hike the trails. There are plenty of trails around Stanley Park for hiking and biking. Just know that you're in nature and there is wildlife in the area, so be aware of your surroundings and safe on the trails. And be sure to follow the posted signage and obey the closed signs if trails are not open. Those are just 18 suggestions of things to see and do, but there are so many more attractions. We didn't get to the aquarium, the wooden faces, or the brewery in the park. So make sure you plan your activities in advance to give yourself enough time to see everything you want to see. I hope this video can be helpful for you if you're planning your own trip to Stanley Park in the future. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more travel videos coming soon.